Right, this morning when we got here, we didn't have anything to rip out, so it's a clean install. Getting the heat pump in place, measuring up where we are, and then out the back, we drilled through with 1.25 inches to 1.5 inches, fitting straight through out here into the 3-port valve, which connects to the top of the buffer. This comes from the heat pump, heats up the water in, then it will come out the top here and connect to the heating for upstairs, all your radiators and everything. Then it comes back through this pipe down into here, into a filter. So this filter takes all iron, anything that's constantly circulating through. It helps your heat pump not get clogged up with stuff and helps protect it. So then that comes back out here, down, through there and back. It'll eventually come out of there into the back of the heat pump, circulate again, heat up, come back through, and then it just keeps in a big loop going round and round. Working out how to connect all of these into the cylinder. At the minute we've got the cold in place with the Calefi valve on, and we have placed the expansion vessel over here ready to connect up. Right, everything outside is now completed, the heat pump's in place. All the pipes have been insulated with a UVC lagging. We've got some valves there if it needs shutting off. We've also got a condense pipe that goes straight into a drain, and that is everything outside. Heat pumps on the feet with the right measurements from the wall. And that's outside. Right, everything's now all piped up. We're just going to go test it and check for any leaks. But as far as the pipe work's done, it's completed. So after we filled it up and tested it, we put the lagging on here like that, and we'll make sure that every pipe that we've got on show is lagged to create an insulated pipe.
So we're here on day 2, the heat pump's installed, the plumbing's installed, and today we're going to do the electric. It's going to connect up the pumps, the valves, the thermostat, all the different equipment that's needed to control it. This is an RCBO. It's a mixture of a circuit breaker and an RCD, so it measures if you use too much current, and it also measures if the current leaks to earth or isn't returning basically back through the neutral where it's supposed to be, so it's a lot safer. I'm just going to fit these now. We'll have one for the immersion heater and one for the air source heat pump. So we've now installed 2 RCBOs, one for the air source heat pump and one for the immersion heater, and I'm just going to bring in the immersion heater cable through the stuffing gland and put it into the timer so that it can do the Legionella cycle once a week. So we're just testing the immersion heater for the Legionella cycle. The RCBO's on. We're just testing that the timer works properly. We'll set it up later to run for an hour on the nighttime tariff once a week. And at this end, you can see we've got a 3 kilowatt immersion heater here set to 70 Celsius. So we're just checking to make sure it warms the water properly. We're finished on the immersion heater and the timer for the Legionella cycle. We're now working on getting the power to the air source heat pump, and then we'll connect up all the control cables, the thermostat, various valves and actuators. This is the isolator for the air source heat pump. So this is the main power supply from the little board in there, fed by an RCBO that will come in and feed the pump. So we're just bringing in the control cable from the air source heat pump. This is a 18 core cable with an earth, and we're going to use that to feed all the different actuators and pumps. Now I'm going to get the cables clipped on neatly on the wall over to this end of the air source heat pump, and then we're going to bring them in through the special media glands into the body of the heat pump. Since we've last spoken, we've got most of the wires stripped and in the junction box ready to be connected. So we're going to go make the connections at the pumps and the actuators in the house before joining everything together in here. So we're just dressing the cables now, ready for connecting. I'm putting these Wago connectors on the end, which is just like a screw connector block with little levers. Just basically to cap off some of the extra cables that we don't need that are for later use. So we've just connected the cables for the valves at the upstairs manifold. We've also done the downstairs manifold. Later, the heating engineers are going to fit a heat miser system that allows control by area, but for now we're just going to have it so the water turns off and runs all of the underfloor heating on the upstairs and all on the downstairs for our testing purposes. So we're currently connecting all the cables at a junction box in the garage, and then we'll go on to putting the cables into the heat pump. It looks like a bit of a spaghetti, there's quite a lot, but if we just go through one at a time, step by step, I'm sure it'll be fine.
And you can only do this after you've done all the bits you did upstairs?
Yeah, so you normally, whenever you're doing any kind of electrical wiring, you work back towards the origin. So you start at the ends and work back. And that's partly for safety and partly so nothing gets missed. So welcome to day 2 of the electrical, day 3 of the install, and I'll show you some of what we've done. We've got the distribution board that was already in the garage. We've got a separate circuit for the air source heat pump and for the immersion heater, an energy meter for the air source heat pump, and a timer for the Legionella cycle for the hot water tank. We've got the media controller, the thermostat receiver, and if we come over here, we've got the 270 litre hot water tank with a built-in thermostat, buffer tank, pump, 3-way valve, the wiring centre.
And what have you done this morning?
Okay, so this morning we've just been taking some test readings, checking the AC connections, checking the earths, making sure everything's tidy and neat. We're about to do a sweep up and get everything ready for the commissioning engineer to do a full run through of the system. So it's all up and running. Great news for the customer. We've got the power, the media controller, the settings for the hot water and the flow rate for the underfloor heating. We've got the temporary thermostat until the customer gets his own thermostat that's going to control all the different underfloor heating loops. But for now, we're just getting the whole house warmed up. Expansion vessels, hot water tank that's now toasty warm. As you can see, the heating pump's on and the pipes are nice and warm. It's now sorted and where they should be. Covers on. Got open pipe here that's waiting for the customer's new mains water supply to feed into there. And if we have a look at the heat pump, you can hear it. It's not very loud, but it's spinning away, and I'll get the covers on and get it all packed up.